Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sally and this is my channel Secret Life of a Seamstress, where I love to talk all about sewing and making clothes. Thank you so much for joining me today and I hope you're all doing really well. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 sewing patterns for dresses that you can sew up for spring and summertime. I had a little bit of a break from YouTube over Easter time, a whole month, which I think is probably the longest I've ever gone without filming, which is crazy really when you think that I've just come up to like a 5-year anniversary of being on YouTube. So when I came back to planning content for May, I asked on Instagram what you'd like to see, and patterns for sewing summer dresses was really highly requested. And I never mind that because I love to research summer dresses. I still think dresses are probably one of my most favourite garment types to sew. So I've done a little bit of research into new dress patterns that are coming out for spring and summer this year, and I've also thought about some patterns I already know and love. I've really tried to pick a range of different designers and also accommodate different sewing levels as well, so I really hope there'll be something for everyone in here. Before we get started, if you do like what you see in today's video, can I please urge you to like the video and also subscribe to my channel? That really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And I also have a Patreon behind the scenes sewing community where I share additional videos, tutorials, tips and tricks and things like that, and I would love to have you over there. So I'll leave all the details for that membership in the video description as well. And just before I get into the patterns, I will quickly share with you what I'm wearing today. I'm wearing the Sew Over It Pippa dress pattern. This is actually one of my favourite dress sewing patterns, but I've only ever made one version, this version that I'm wearing today. I'm really considering sewing up another version in the yellow floral fabric that you see behind me here, because I think that will be really pretty for spring and summertime. Right, let's get into it. Pattern number one is the Sew Love Patterns Chloe dress. This comes in sizes 6 to 20 and the sewing level is rated intermediate. This is such a pretty summer dress, isn't it? And I thought it would be perfect if you had any upcoming summery occasions like a wedding or a garden party or something like that. The Chloe dress can be made as either a midi or a mini dress. It's quite fitted and you can make it either with or without this side split. It has this lovely gathered centre front detail in the empire line bodice, which kind of looks like a bow. It's sort of gathered around your bust, and then it has this cinching in the middle of your chest, which I think is also really pretty and very flattering. So with this dress you can actually make fixed straps. The straps are quite nice and wide, so they're really good for wearing a bra underneath. You can either make them as fixed straps or you can have this lovely sort of bow tie strap. I quite like a bow tie strap because I find it helps with fitting, because you don't have to worry about your straps kind of slipping down or falling off. You can just tighten the bow and it makes the fitting that little bit easier. This dress also comes with additional pockets as well, so if you are someone that likes to have pockets, then that is always a really nice sort of option to have. For me personally, I'm not sure if I would put pockets in such a fitted dress like this. So this dress needs to be sewn from something with a lovely drape, so a viscose, a rayon or a crepe or a cupro, the pattern suggests. As you can see from the pattern images, it looks lovely in a solid fabric. But of course, if you do want to kind of dress the dress down a little bit and just wear it for summertime, you could make it in a floral or a stripy fabric or a spotty fabric, and that would look really pretty and probably slightly more relaxed for sort of day-to-day wear, and just to give it that more sort of day-to-day feel. Pattern number two is this Vogue pattern. It's V2106. I chose this one because I thought it looked so interesting and actually right on trend. I absolutely love the lines of this dress. It's very dramatic and it really has that lovely sort of party feel. The size range for this one is sizes 6 to 24 and the level is rated average. So the dress has quite a fitted bodice. It has raglan shaped sleeves. It has a really low cut V neckline, but it also has this kind of bow tie gather feature across the neck where the neckline is pulled in and it's actually tied at the back with a bow. There is an invisible zip closure in the dress as well, because of course there is some quite tight fitting around the waist there. The dress is really fitted at the waist with a waistband, and then it kind of flares out into this big dramatic puffball skirt. And what I really like is that not only is there a puffball skirt, but there are also puffball sleeves as well. Puffball shaped anything really is really on trend at the moment. You'll see if you do go out to the shops that there are loads of puffball skirts around on the high street. If you are of a certain age and you're old enough to remember the puffball trend when it first came around, like me, you may or may not like this style. For me, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I'm not sure whether or not I want to go back there. For this one, you definitely want a fabric with a bit of structure, such as a cotton sateen, or even linen, because you definitely want something that's going to hold that lovely shape. Pattern number 3 is the True Bias Quinn. This one comes in sizes 0 to 18, and again the level for this one is intermediate. So at the time of filming this video, the Quinn pattern is the latest release by True Bias, and I have to say that I'm really loving it. So Quinn is a vest style dress. Pattern says that it's finished with bias binding and facings. It has this lovely low V-neck. It's fully buttoned down. It's shaped really nicely over your bust, waist and hips with princess seams. There's some shaping in the back as well, and then the back is actually pulled in with a lovely buckle. So it's a really lovely fitted vest style dress. For this one, you'll need a medium weight woven fabric such as a cotton or a linen blend. And the pattern also suggests corduroy, twill or even denim. I think a denim version of this dress would look really lovely for summertime, worn with sandals. I think that would be a lovely casual look for the warmer weather. The beauty of this pattern is, of course, that there isn't only the dress option for the Quinn, there's also a vest pattern. So you can make either a cropped or a hip length kind of vest or waistcoat if you like. Next on my list is the Tilly and the Buttons nail dress pattern. This comes in sizes 6 to 34, and the sewing level for this one is confident beginner. The nail dress, I think, is such a versatile pattern. There are so many different versions you can sew. So in its most basic form, I guess, it's a V-neck button down kind of fit and flare oversized dress with straight short sleeves, or you can make longer sleeves if you prefer. But there are other options included in this pattern, so you can sort of switch things up and mix and match as you prefer. And I love it when you can do that with the pattern, because it just gives you so much more for your money, doesn't it? There's also this lovely puffball sleeve version. There we go with the puffball again. It's definitely on trend, this one, isn't it? There are optional patch pockets as well, so you can add them as you want to. And you can also put them in different areas of the dress. So you can put them on the front of the skirt as they have, but you could also change the size of them and maybe put them on the breast for breast pockets if you prefer. So you can have the dress buttoned down, or you can have this really pretty tie feature, another feature that is on trend. The nail dress also has bust darts for shaping, and I believe it's finished with facings inside for a nice neat finish. Again, another one that you really get a lot for your money, because you can make this as a top, you can make it as a peplum top, or of course you could just make a straight blouse if you prefer. So this pattern calls for a woven fabric, and there are various different woven fabrics that you can use for this dress. It all depends on the kind of look and feel that you're going for. If you want a nice structured summer dress for summertime, then go for a lovely cotton, maybe a cotton voile or a linen blend. If you want the dress to hang closer to your body, then obviously go for something more drapey like a crepe, viscose or rayon. Pattern number 5 is the ruffle dress by Puff and Pencil. This one comes in sizes UK 6 to 24, and the sewing level is confident beginner. I thought this was such a cute little summer dress, and if you do have some sewing experience already under your belt, then I think you would find this one quick and easy to sew up. And if you are a beginner, this would be a great one to sew for summertime. So this one is a loose fitting sleeveless mini dress, and it has this lovely wide ruffle hem. It has a rounded neckline and a keyhole opening at the back, which just fastens with a bow, so there are no tricky buttons or zips to contend with. It just pulls over your head and then you tie it up at the back. So this dress is sleeveless, as I mentioned, but they do actually have an add-on pack for sleeves. So if you do prefer a sleeved dress, then you can purchase the add-on pack and just add in some short sleeves. So this dress is suitable for woven fabrics, and it does say not to use anything too heavy. So I think this one would work really nicely with something with a bit of drape, such as a viscose, rayon, crepe. If you are a beginner and you wanted to sew with something with more structure, then I would say go for a cotton or linen blend again. Cotton lawns are always really nice and floaty, and they do give you a little bit more drape as well. You might just find that they're slightly see-through, so you might need to wear like a slip or something underneath, or you could line it if you're feeling confident. Pattern number 6 is the Azure Tutorial dress by Closet Core Patterns. This one comes in sizes 6 to 24, and again the sewing level for this one is confident beginner. In my little Instagram what would you like to see in May poll, someone did request patterns for tiered maxi summer dresses, so I think this one fits the bill perfectly. It's not only a tiered maxi summer dress, but it has these really interesting lines to it, so I really did want to include this one. So this dress has a semi-fitted sleeveless bodice. It says it has a dual neckline, which I assume to be like an oval neckline. It's somewhere in the middle of sort of round and square. Similar to the ruffle dress, this one fastens with a button closure at the back, so it just pulls nicely over your head, no zips, no button openings, no buttonholes I should say, for this one, so it's nice and easy, perfect for beginners. So let's move on to the skirt part of this dress, which is of course the most interesting detail, and this one does have these alternating diagonal tiered sections. So you're still tiering the skirt and you're still putting in the gathered panels, but they're just slightly different in shape, and I thought this just was a really lovely twist on your sort of traditional gathered maxi dress. You can make this one either as a mini or a maxi length dress, and you can also make it as just a top or just a skirt if you prefer. So again, lots of lovely different options that you can sew with this pattern. Lots for your money again, I think. So similar to some of the other patterns I've mentioned, the fabric that you choose for this kind of dress really does depend on the kind of look and feel that you're going for. It would be perfect sewn from a lovely light linen or a cotton for summertime. It would be lovely, floaty and cool and breathable in those fabrics. But you would get a little bit more structure with a cotton or linen blend. So if you want something that hangs a little bit closer to your body, then again just go for viscose, rayon, crepe, anything with a lovely drape to it. My next pattern I actually am hoping that I'm going to pronounce correctly. It's the Coralie Bajassen Evora dress. This comes in sizes UK 6 to 22, and the level for this one does say intermediate to advanced, but I'm wondering if a confident to advanced beginner could actually have a go at this pattern. I wanted to include this dress because I saw it online and it just made me think of holidays. I think this dress would be the perfect beach cover up. It's kind of caftan style, I thought, and it has this lovely curved sort of slightly v-neck bib at the front, which gives a really nice interesting detail. Both the back and front are gathered to give a little bit more shaping and a little bit more volume, and there are two different sleeve types that you can choose for this dress. You can either have a really lovely sort of straighter sleeve, I guess, which is gathered at the top and at the bottom, or you can have these really nice light and airy butterfly sleeves, these are called, I believe, and these are nice and wide, and they kind of go along a little bit more, I think, with a kind of caftan feel of this dress. For me, if I was making this dress as a beach cover up, I'd probably go for the lovely wide sleeves. I think that would be nice and floaty and easy to put on over a swimsuit or whatever you're wearing on the beach. If I was going to wear this dress out in the evening, I would probably go for the more understated sleeves with the lovely cuff. Of course, it is entirely up to you. Like some of the other patterns I mentioned, this can also be made as a top as well. So a few different options available with this pattern too. The designer recommends lightweight woven fabrics for this dress. So something with nice fluidity, nice drape to it, like a viscose, rayon crepe again, or even a silk or a light cotton blend, like a cotton lawn. That would be really nice. Pattern number 8 is this simplicity pattern, which I am absolutely in love with. I think it's so beautiful, and again it does tick that box for long tiered midi summer dresses. This one comes in sizes 8 to 26 and it is rated as the sewing level average, so again sort of intermediate to more advanced level sewing. So this dress has a lovely V-cut empire bust line. And there are quite a few different skirt options you can go for, and sleeve options actually, that you can go for with this pattern. You can either go for the full-on maxi tiered length, or you could make a mini version just with one gathered skirt, or there is the option to add a ruffle to the skirt on its own if you prefer. Then there are various different sleeve options, so you can have a long sleeve with this, with the kind of fluted sort of flutter gather at the bottom. That gives a nice sort of puff sleeve style if you are going for the short sleeve option. And you can also go for a balloon sleeve with a cuff as well if you prefer. I love that there are optional pockets with this dress, and with this kind of dress I think you can get away with pockets more easily because there's so much sort of volume around your bottom half. You wouldn't necessarily see the lines of the pockets in the same way as you would if you were adding pockets to a more fitted dress. So I do like the fact that there are pockets in this dress. You can either take them or leave them though. Of course, you don't have to add them, but if you want them, then they're there. The pattern does also say that you can add a neckline trim to this dress if you prefer as well, which I think gives a little bit of a kind of 70s boho feel, and I quite like it. So fabrics for this dress, again, you want something with a little bit of floaty drape to it. So again, I would probably go for viscose, rayon and crepe. You could sew this from a lovely light cotton, but you would get more structure. So your gathers and your poofy skirt and your poofy sleeves would just stand out and stand away from your body more. I think for me, I would definitely sew this from a viscose. I love a viscose, and I prefer when dresses hang closer to my body rather than sort of stick out away. That's just my personal preference, of course. There are loads of different fabrics that you could use for this, so pick whatever takes your fancy. Pattern number 9 is the Stylark Susie knit dress. This one comes in sizes 4 to 30, and the sewing level for this one is easy, so perfect for beginners. So this is actually the only knit dress on my list, and I thought it was about time I included one. I do love a good knit dress for summertime. They're just so easy to wear, aren't they? And I thought this one was a lovely, casual, easy summer dress that you can just throw on in the morning and be done. And it would be super comfy because it's sewn from a knit fabric as well. So this one has a lovely V-neck line. It has a faux wrap at the front, which I think is finished with a facing. It's quite figure hugging, quite tight to your body, and you can sew it with either cap or long sleeves. The sort of main pattern image for this dress is a midi length version, but you can sew it in either mini, midi or maxi if you prefer. It would probably be quite easy to either lengthen or shorten this one because the skirt is quite straight. So the fabric recommendations for this pattern, it actually just says jersey knit fabrics. But for me, I think it would be nice to use a jersey with a little bit of drape in it. I think drapey jersey knits always look quite nice if you are wearing a wrap front because they hang really nicely, and viscose and bamboo jersey is always really nice and comfortable to wear. If you are more on the beginner side of your sewing journey though, you might want to stick with like a cotton jersey because that is a little bit more structured and just more easy to sew. Pattern number 10 is the Tammy Handmade Margot Pinafore dress. This comes in sizes 6 to 32, and the sewing level for this one again is confident beginner. So this is a really simple style woven dress. It has 2 neckline options. You can either sew it with quite a low V neckline, or you can sew this lovely square neckline. And I actually think the square neckline would be lovely for summertime and much easier to wear on its own without anything underneath. The Margot dress has bust darts for shaping, and it actually has a fully lined bodice as well, which is always really nice, especially if you're wearing a dress with nothing underneath it because it makes it less see-through. There are also 2 patch pockets which you can add if you want to or leave off if you prefer. So the Margot dress is styled in the pattern images more as a sort of mini kind of pinafore style dress, but I think you could easily lengthen this if you wanted to, and I also think you could use this as a base, but on its own it's really lovely for summertime. I think this blue and white version from the pattern images would be lovely just worn on its own with sandals. Very pretty for a lovely spring day. Of course, with any pinafore style dress like this one, it's really easy to layer up as well. So you can pop a t-shirt or a light knit underneath this, wear it with your trainers or a cardigan on top, and it will see you through the kind of colder spring weather before we get into the really warmer months. Again, this is a great one for beginners. There are no fastenings, no buttons, zips to contend with. It just pulls on over your head, which I really love in a pattern actually. It's always really nice to have a nice simple dress like that you don't have to worry about fitting too much, isn't it? So light to medium woven fabrics are recommended for this pattern, and I think with this one it's probably good to have a little bit of structure in your fabric. So cotton blends, linen blends, again it does say you can also use twill, corduroy or denim. I guess those fabrics might be a little bit heavy for summertime and the warmer months. I think if you used a viscose or anything with too much drape for this one, it would probably lose its A-line shape too much and would maybe look a little bit sort of too hangy around your body. I think the beauty of this one is that kind of A-line look and feel. So that brings me to the end of my list of 10 summer dress patterns that you might want to sew up this summertime. I really hope there's been something in this list to inspire you. Let me know if you've sewn up any of the patterns that I've recommended today, and let me know if there is anything that's caught your eye and that you might want to sew up. I'd also love to know in the comments if there are any summer dresses that you absolutely love and sew up time and again. Thank you so much for watching today's video, everyone. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like the video if you have enjoyed it, and please do subscribe to my channel as well. I would be So grateful. Don't forget, I also have my behind the scenes membership club over on Patreon, where there is loads more sewing goodness. I post an additional video every month over there, so if you are new, there's loads of videos to catch up on and other tips, tricks and tutorials as well. And I'd love to have you over there. I think that's everything I need to say for now. I hope today's video was okay. I did feel a bit sort of rusty and out of practice getting back in front of the camera today after a whole month off, so I hope it's been okay. Anyway, take care everyone, enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye.